Come with us now, if you dare, down a rickety staircase into a dank, dark basement. What awaits? The Saturday Night Freak Show.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Saturday Night Freak Show podcast, the movie review and talk show podcast that comes your way every Saturday, whether you or we are ready for it or not.
Or the world. Maybe the world's not ready for it.
Not for this. These are the internet radio superstars.
Michaela.
Sean.
Holly.
And I'm Colin, and tonight we watched a movie that was chosen by
Holly.
Me.
What did you make us watch tonight?
Tonight we watched a little film called Blood Freak.
Blood Freak from the year
1972.
Okay, directed by.
Well, that's a good question.
Okay.
Kind of Brad Grinter, kind of Steve Hawks.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right.
So, Steve Hawks.
Oh, you do now because he starred in this movie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we do.
So he was like producer,
Do we know
director, co-director.
anybody from this movie?
No.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, who's Brad Grinter?
Well, he
And-
directed such films as Flesh Feast.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
And
really.
most of you
yes.
have probably seen Devil Rider with an exclamation point.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
interested.
Devil
in that.
Rider.
Okay.
You gotta say it like
Never the Twain, obviously.
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay.
Never the Twain.
And you can't forget Barely Proper.
Okay. That sounds like a porno
Barely.
for sure.
Oh,
yes.
definitely.
These are all
Okay.
made over a period of how many years?
5.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
1970.
That star burned short and bright, huh?
Very
Yeah.
Small budgets,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Oh, I know the budget of this
What's
movie.
this one?
Ready for this?
$5,000.
What's your guess?
$10,000.
What's your guess?
$25,000.
25,000.
Oh,
Sean
wow.
wins.
$25,000.
Sean wins both showcase showdowns for getting it exactly right.
Did you?
Okay.
God damn it, Sean.
I'm so sorry.
Well, Steve
sorry.
Hawks, though, the star of this film, I briefly glanced on IMDb. He is still working. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
What constitutes work?
Yes.
Well, as of like 10 years ago, maybe
Okay.
he had made something. I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
he's in stuff. Not
Where
things
do
that,
you go on from here? What do you
Yeah.
mean stuff?
apparently
Good?
he's got.
Bad?
He has a filmography. I mean, he was in like a bunch of stuff, including some like Tarzan movies.
Okay. We're getting real vague here.
Colin, he's
Nothing I
dead.
can- I want to.
Oh, is he
He
dead?
died in 2019. This is a reverse
Is
Ernesto.
that Steve Hawks or Brad Grinter?
This is Steve Hawks.
Oh, no,
Okay, so
Steve Hawks died in 2017. Brad Grinter died in
Yeah.
1993.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
This
okay.
is
Look
this is a
what you
reverse
did. All right,
Ernesto.
the curse is no longer on me. It's on Colin now.
Okay.
But he was in a movie in 2013 called 2057 Return to Zombie Island.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the classic hit.
Well,
when you
it
go
was the
back-
sequel to 2056 Escape from Zombie
Yes.
Island. Yeah.
But when you go
Obviously.
back, it's like he has dozens of like films to his credit.
The Walls Have Eyes. That sounds pretty
The
cool.
Walls
I'd
Have
watch
Eyes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is as an actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has 10 credits, Colin.
10
It's not
credits.
that many.
All right. Well, I think
Okay.
that-
All right. I don't trust Colin
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Kayla, you check his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was me just like
Yeah.
glancing on IMDb, and I'm like, what? It's like, yeah. So because I think he was in stuff in like the '60s, late '60s, and then the '70s, right?
Mhm.
In this era. Whose idea was this movie?
Whose idea was this? It was their idea.
Okay, all right. So the pair of these guys got together.
Brad Grinter taught a film class.
Okay.
This movie is that film class.
Okay. All
Really?
right. All right.
Yes,
Really?
Great.
The cast are
The
the
film students?
of
Oh
the
my
film
God.
class.
Oh, these are some awkward scenes to film with your
Yeah.
classmates. Yikes. Oh, no. I know. That
Yeah.
adds a whole gross context
Like
to this movie.
this is not a student film, but it is a film with students.
Yes.
I mean, it feels
I
like
think
a
it's a
student film.
student
Well,
film,
because because they had a financier for this movie
Mhm.
who backed out shockingly,
Can't
and
imagine why.
Brad Grinter and Steve Hawks.
Wait, what's he going to be wearing on his head? No, I'm not.
Yes.
Yeah, Brad Grinter and Steve Hawks pooled their finances and came up with the $25,000 to do this movie.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the budget was originally like 50,000, and somebody pulled
Yeah.
out, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we sure some Christian group didn't find a movie and then make their own little wraparound scenes and insert them into this for a message?
You know how they used to do those Christian haunted houses that were
Yeah.
like message haunted houses? This is like
yeah.
a movie version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
why
is.
would you bring
it's-
that up right now?
Yeah.
it
You
is
know that
very
triggers
odd.
me.
It's like a Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those, like, you know, would they play this in a church? I can't imagine that they would.
No. They would never
but
play
it's
this in
an
the church.
anti-drug movie
Mhm.
Yes.
with a pro-Christian message.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a horror movie full of blood and gore.
Okay,
They
blood.
wouldn't. There's some.
And
Yeah, they wouldn't play this in a church. They'd play it in an NA meeting.
okay,
Mhm.
all right. It's a weird one. It's one of the weirdest ones I think that we've ever done on this
Mhm.
show.
I would
Yes.
Congratulations, Holly.
Thank
it's
you.
it's a WTF
Yes.
movie.
Years later, when asked about the movie, Steve Hawks referred to it as a sad chapter in my life.
I made note of that.
Is that what you saw right before we logged on that you were laughing at?
That's
That's
the
what
one.
you saw?
Yeah, that's the one that
Okay.
made me laugh. I'm
Yeah.
just like, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
I made note of that. I was gonna.
I
say.
but
mean-
also proof that this is it was destined to come here. This film was released on DVD by Image Entertainment. We've done one other movie by them before. As
bunch of
part of
them.
its Freak Show box set.
Oh, there you go.
my God.
Okay, all right.
Guys, I think we have to do every movie in that box set.
I think so. So
Does it list what else is in there or no? Does it have? Oh,
PYX.
PYX?
Yep.
okay.
Yeah. Let's.
Does it have its own Wikipedia page for this box set where it
Oh,
lists
no.
everything? That'd be great.
We'll let you know.
Okay. Stay tuned.
We saw it on
Karen
YouTube.
Black.
Yeah,
All right. All
Christopher
right.
Plummer.
In the
Okay,
pics,
those are
yeah.
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are people.
So it's so it was released theatrically. I'm assuming. I mean, this is like a drive-in.
But only in
Like-
Florida.
Because back then you could, if you shot a movie, you could actually get people
Right.
to watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because I'm like watching this, going like, there's a bunch of movies like this out there right now,
Yeah.
but there's so many of them, nobody sees any of this
Right.
stuff. But back then, and now we're talking about Blood Freak because it actually got made.
Should we be talking about Blood Freak?
This is a Thanksgiving movie.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're listening to this just after the holiday, but
Was that the
we're-
purpose of bringing this? Because
Yes.
you saw a killer with a turkey head and you're like, I have to bring it for Thanksgiving.
Well, obviously.
Okay. Was that this? Okay. This is why you brought the movie, right?
I
Or was this
no?
had this been on the list?
I
Were
brought
the little
them-
notes next to it like Michaela?
I always.
Why aren't you answering my question?
I always forget to put notes. So how I came across this, I don't know.
That's a fun Google search
I
later
always-
if you just
I
go down your
always
list.
Yep.
I always forget how I come across these movies, but I did see that it took place. Okay,
Okay.
just
You do you.
I need to tell you the synopsis that I read for this
okay.
that sold it
All right,
for me.
Here it goes.
I gotta find it, but yes, I knew it took place on a turkey farm,
Okay.
so I was like, okay, well, this is the time of year
Yep,
to
yep,
do
yep.
this. Obviously,
If there is a time of year, this is it. for this
well,
movie.
this is it.
We haven't done Thanksgiving yet, so
I thought that was too
Oh,
obvious.
boy, yeah.
Blood
That's like
Freak
a
was a good one.
67-minute movie.
Let's go under the radar.
Yeah.
Okay. The very brief synopsis of this movie is a biker gets a job at a turkey farm and agrees to act as a guinea pig for some chemicals that need tested, failing to anticipate the murderous side effects.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I
Why
can see
would
why
I
you
not
picked
look into
it.
this
Yeah.
movie?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And then I watched the trailer and it shows the best parts.
Gotcha.
And I was like,
Sold.
why would we not watch this?
Right.
We have to watch this. So,
Okay,
yeah.
well, now we know.
So this is taking place at the height of the swinging 70s,
The Key Party 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
1972,
Yeah.
so we got that bleed over, that cultural seepage we all
Yeah.
talk
Yes.
I am fairly certain the beginning of this movie is just home videos from someone's actual party.
It feels like
Right.
it.
Does.
I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
it does. It has the
Yeah.
production value of an early 70s porno movie. It has
Yep.
music
Truly
from
does.
a
Truly does.
70s porno movie.
about. I'm still not convinced porn scenes were not cut out of this movie, but whatever.
And they're like, we could sell this one way or the other,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Right, because that's how you can sell movies. Just like, we could make a legitimate movie out of this. That's for the guys who are just like, I want to get out of the porn business. I want to make legitimate movies. Like, we'll start here with this movie.
So I'm totally like, at 30 seconds in this movie, I'm confused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
How does
Yep.
it start?
We got a
With
guy.
Vincent Price's hippie brother,
Yes.
There's a
smoking a
there's
cigarette and talking to the
Oh
camera.
crap! That's
Yes.
right. There's an intro. There's a narrator to this movie.
Yes.
He is the Hep Cat, right?
Oh yeah. Dear Brailers, he has that wood paneling behind him.
Yes. That exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm
Yep.
talking about.
Mhm.
So this is like
It's in
an,
my basement.
an
It was in my
instructional
room growing
film or something like that, right? That you've seen these things where like the guy's sitting there smoking a cigarette and like telling you about the horrors of drugs,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And he's spouting extremely deep, philosophical.
Yeah, this is a philosopher that we're talking to right here.
This is like
silk-shirted,
hippie philosopher.
chest-hair-bearing philosopher.
Yeah. So we're
I
like,
figured they all were.
oh boy.
Even Socrates back in the day just had his taco meat hanging out.
Yeah, because I can't even remember what he launched into on that first one, but about the human condition and good versus
Oh
evil.
no, the shock of that whole scene just left whatever he said blank. Just like, what?
Yep, the catalyst, right? What's a catalyst?
Yes,
and
the
a catalyst
catalyst
could be a person, who signifies change.
Yep.
And we're like, okay.
Good or bad. Because this guy's just kind of playing both sides of the field at this point. Just kind of like, it could be good, could be bad. We have experiences. We have bad ones. We have good ones.
Yep. And then we meet a biker who is played by our hero, Steve Hawks.
Yeah.
His name is Herschel.
Herschel.
And he resembles...
Holly.
I said he looked like a combination of Jay Leno and Conway Twitty.
Very
Yes,
young
yes.
Jay Leno
Yeah.
when he had the dark hair and
Yes.
everything back in there. He looks a little Elvis-y.
Mm-hmm.
He's got
the Elvis glasses.
Yeah.
But he's got the hair, too.
The
It's
hair.
a massive head of hair.
It's something to behold, man. I was
Yes.
distracted by it because I was like, they don't grow them like that anymore.
They
You're like,
don't.
it's Wolverine hair.
Yeah.
It is
Yes.
Wolverine hair.
Yeah.
You feel like they had to have felt guilty by covering it with a paper mache turkey head.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Like a cloth.
His best
Yes.
feature, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big man. He's a
Yeah.
big burly man with
Yes.
a big head of hair.
You're
Big
saying
hands, too.
words here that are like a paper mache turkey head.
I did say that.
Are you
And
shocked,
I meant
audience?
it.
We were.
I meant it.
Um,
I did see it prior to bringing this. I knew what we were getting into.
Awesome.
No, they didn't just show you those fucking dark ass shots from
No,
the very beginning.
no,
They
no.
actually showed. Okay.
So there's a woman on the freeway and
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Angel.
Angel. Okay.
this.
And
Subtle.
He
Well,
pulls over because this is all like basically, I think back in at that time, they'd shoot a lot of stuff like silent. A lot of this, I think,
Oh,
was
yeah.
shot silent, and then they, dubbed it over, put music on it.
yeah.
And then there's other scenes that are just natural. A lot of it is natural sound, so you can hear the film going through the camera
Yep.
in the background.
Then we have some scenes that are just looped sound.
Yep, over and over and over again.
Yep.
So what happens in this first scene?
Oh, I was gonna halfway through this. I was gonna be like, I dare you to tell me what happened 10 minutes ago, because good luck recalling all of this movie tonight.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what.
Well, I
No,
think
let's do this.
I think what is intended, right? Although there are shots missing, so
Yes.
it's like
Well, yeah.
I think she had car trouble.
Angel had car
She had
trouble.
car trouble.
Okay,
Damsel in distress,
Right.
obviously.
You're right,
and Herschel is the knight in shining armor on his bike who pulls up on the highway and sees this beautiful woman that needs his assistance and has a former soldier that we find out later on.
yeah.
Right. This guy's
He
like
has
Rambo.
to stop and help her,
Yeah.
Okay.
clearly.
Except that part's missing.
Right.
It is inferred.
I guess.
as a few parts of this movie are.
Well, our Vincent Price / Sam Elliott narrator, he did say that that's how it was starting, is that she had car trouble and,
Yeah.
Okay.
and needed
Does name
help.
them.
So
Okay.
so he sets it up,
Yeah. And
to
then,
be fair.
then she follows him down the highway back to her house.
Yeah. 'cause
Okay.
She's like, come home with me. And he's like, well, I have nowhere else to be.
Well,
Yep.
well, she's probably like, well, I need to thank you for stopping and helping me.
Correct.
I live here.
How can I thank him?
I live here. Go this way.
I'm going to give him the gift of the Lord, but you have to follow me home to do that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like
Where
Christ?
there's a little gathering of Bible students.
A little gathering.
I think that they
Don't-
say
don't-
they were Bible students.
They can't be.
Yeah.
In one of the scenes where she like something about your friends, the Bible students, blah blah blah, and I'm like, what? Because they're all hanging out. This is like a key party
Yes.
where everybody's hanging out.
Where they
in the-
cut out the key.
They're literally,
Yeah.
they're sitting all around a coffee table on the floor doing drugs. It's a 70s party
Yep.
at its finest.
Yeah,
Looks
but
fun.
it seems like the younger people have like invited their older neighbors over.
There are some older people. There are
Yes.
some in these groups in the 70s. There are some older people that hang on too long, I would think,
Yep.
and should just
That still
kind of
happens.
move- oh yeah,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
it does. It does.
I think it's also hard though because some people in the 70s looked a lot older than they actually
Very
were.
true.
They did. Like I said, this is a film class.
Yeah.
So these people were part of a film class.
Yes.
Okay, and
They
I will tell
all
you,
look much older than
Yes.
right, but
Yeah.
every film class I've ever seen spans the gamut of who's in it.
Exactly.
From ages,
Exactly.
young to old. Film class, you get some older people in there, younger people in there, so that's not out of the
Absolutely.
ordinary.
So it makes sense that
Yes.
these people are at a party together.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But also, the old guy looked like he knew the young people go to this, and like I'm going to take advantage. Fuck the film class.
It could have also been that someone's dad drove him there, and then he
Right.
just stayed and was in the movie.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
very possible.
But the older folks are enjoying themselves, smoking the kids' pot, and it's being passed around. They got hookah or something.
I'm just a long pipe.
They have pipes,
Okay, so they got.
various
A lot of pipes.
assortments.
There's okay. Looked like they were sniffing glue,
Yeah, it did.
right?
What was that
They're
all
sniffing
about?
glue.
It wasn't
Yeah.
glue. It also looked like chapstick.
So I'm
the
going
quality of this video made it very hard to tell.
Yeah.
It did. 'Cause
It
like,
did.
are they taking
Yeah.
bumps of cocaine? But then
Yeah.
he's got like a two. I'm like, they're sniffing glue.
Some kind of
When did
upper
that
or
go out
something.
of fashion? When did it
I
come
don't
into
think they're
fashion?
sniffing glue. It's some
they're
kind of
sniffing-
drug.
Come
No.
on.
Yeah.
Well, because it would have
That
been
looked like a tube of glue.
It would have been a glue stick. I don't know if they even had glue sticks at that point.
That wasn't a glue stick. That
was a
just
tube.
It was
Yeah.
a tube with that little
It
nozzle.
had a nozzle on it.
Less than we can mess with glue.
Maybe
This
it was.
is we don't have enough
Maybe it was just
experience
nasal
with
spray.
70s drugs. That's what it looked like. It was
What
some
are
kind
you
of like,
watching?
Maybe it was just nasal spray. I don't know. I don't know their business.
So the Herschel comes into this, right? And Angel's like, so my sister is here and she's into the drug crowd, but I would hope that you don't participate in that while you're here. And then she sits down and proceeds to
Read the Bible.
read the Bible at the party
Yep.
to anyone who will listen.
I
How do
am
you feel, Holly?
triggered
Okay. I figured,
because I went to parties in high school where people were reading the Bible.
Oof. Can you just imagine having a good time? It's like,
Wait,
just wanna
while
talk
everybody
about-
else is like
You
smoking
guys
up?
want to talk about Christ right now?
No,
Okay.
Christian party.
Like if
Okay.
I brought it in right now.
Christian
Should we,
party.
should we just talk about Christ?
I feel like we all need to have like a safe word for if that happens to somebody, because it's like something's gone seriously wrong. If
Right.
Sean comes down here and is like, "Have we talked about Christ lately?" and
about
pulls out a
Christ
Bible,
lately?
we all need like
Everyone
a
would be like-
secret word for like, guys, it's time to get
Yeah.
him some help.
Satan.
Yeah.
It should
I
be
did
the-
have-
Satan.
You know what though? I had the opposite of this movie. I had it was a Christian party where we were all, doing wholesome things. But there was one friend.
okay.
But there was one friend who was like back from his travels and was talking.
His mind had been opened.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
talking about his experiences with drugs. So like we had the opposite, like
Oh.
all Christian.
Ayahuasca and everything.
All
It's so
Christian-
Puerto Rican
Yeah.
missions trips and shit coming back. Okay.
No, more like he left and was homeless on the beach in California.
Is this your
yeah,
friend that
yeah,
we
yeah.
know?
It's
Yeah.
my,
Okay,
it's
I
my
got
friend
it,
that
I
we
got
know. So yeah,
I know what we're talking
remember that realization. I was like, oh my god, he's ruined. So I had the opposite happen. Christian party, the one druggy.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic.
It's
It's,
fine
like
now.
the 70s, just everybody gets together and kind of hangs out, and then you got the one friend who's like way into something. Could be sports or
If I
something.
got a drug for
They're
you
just
guys,
gonna
it's
tell you
called Christ.
Yeah. So yeah, but Herschel
Open your Bibles.
appears to be into this, and her two other hippie friends, I think, are also like, I'm picking up
I
anything
think they're
she's
just,
laying down.
yeah, I think they're just stoned out of their minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I want to hear about that, man.
the conversations that come up when you're stoned, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
out of
Oh, my God.
it's not out of the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Angel's sister,
Angel sister, the whore of Babylon.
her name is.
Her name
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
Anne.
Anne. Okay.
The
Is
Anne and Angel.
like she is turned on 70s parlance by
Yeah.
Herschel's being in the
His
room.
Yeah.
abstinence.
And so so she's trying to get with him. It's like come over here.
Yeah.
and
He's
do
the handsome
drugs with
biker stranger.
But also looks old enough to be her dad. Like
it's the 70s.
yeah, that's the thing. He's probably not, but
Probably not. Yeah.
but that's just the way it looks.
And so Anne conspires with Guy, who is her drug dealer, right?
Yes.
To
Yeah, man, we don't got a name for you. This is gonna be fucking guy.
Yep.
Well, no, that's more than most of the cast got.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
Because
seriously.
we literally just said everyone's name.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you over
No one
there,
else-
You're a chick.
No one else in this movie has a name. So that's it.
Well, she asks Guy to get Herschel hooked, right? Because she wants to sleep with him.
Yeah, 5 or 6 of these, he'll be hooked.
Yep. And so we're like, well, this isn't going to work because clearly Herschel has eyes for Angel, right? Like that's the
That
whole,
goes away real quick.
Nope. Yeah, it's gone.
Angel goes away real quick.
Yeah, from the entire movie.
Yeah.
And reappears only at the end. So, yeah, I was surprised that he was, by the pool, right, where she's out there in her swimming suit, and she's like, "Come on, why do you have to be, such a tight ass? Let's go
Coward.
with
A coward.
Calls
She
him a
calls him a
coward.
coward.
Calls him a chicken.
I know.
Yeah.
You
She's
yella.
like, here, smoke this. You coward.
I ain't no coward.
Yep, and there he goes.
That's
And
it.
so he
I'll take it.
smokes the laced joint.
Yes, we don't know what it's laced with, but
Right.
he thinks it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, they get real goofy.
Yep. And then she takes him into her room and bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
he regrets it because he's like, man, I wish you were more like your sister.
Yeah, on the
Angel."
way in,
Yeah.
he doesn't stop. He's just like, oh, why can't you be like your sister?
Great way to set the mood,
Right?
my dude. Yeah.
Why would you still go in the bedroom with him after
Yeah,
that?
no.
Come on. No.
She's got this
She's in love with
image,
him.
this
Yeah.
delusion. Yeah,
She's
love.
like-
I was
she's
gonna say delusion,
fixated.
but what is love but delusion?
hmm
Wait, what was was she hung up on him? Is that what
She said that.
Yeah, it was like-
yeah.
So,
Are you trying to access the
yeah,
70s
yeah,
parlance?
because there's going to be more of it. That
Yeah,
I
a lot
loved
more,
it when
yeah.
and they were coming like it's like a whole different language. So he begins to have withdrawals,
Yeah, he does.
and he is like, "I need more of this," and so he assaults Guy, right?
Did he start to have withdrawals before he went to?
No, we're
his work?
getting no, that's
I
going to
think-
happen too.
No,
But he does.
may have done one day of turkey work, but
Okay.
not
Yeah.
eating turkey, work.
Right, but
Turkey work.
'cause at this point he's agreed that he's gonna go to. Is it their dad?
Yeah.
Their dad's.
Yeah, because they leave the happening party and go hang out with the dad, who's like,
Right, it goes to
we'll
meet
give you a
Dad.
job here, and we could use a man
He's
like
like,
you.
"What are
around
your intentions? You need a job. Come work at my turkey farm."
hmm
us." Yeah,
Because
because he's a hobo going from town to town, just looking for work.
Herschel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
He's a drifter.
A
drifter.
Okay, yeah, he's a drifter. Yeah,
It
yeah.
sounds sexier.
No, yeah, bikers are drifters. If he didn't have the bike, he wouldn't be
Yeah.
a drifter.
Yeah.
But he has a
Yeah.
bike, so he's a drifter.
Yeah.
So it's Florida, summertime. You go to a
Yep.
turkey farm, and he immediately starts mocking all the turkeys in there.
Oh yeah. As soon as
does.
he walks in, like he hasn't even told anyone he's there yet, and he's already like mocking these turkeys.
Yeah.
Which we
all
discussed.
agreed that we would do.
I mean, I see turkeys walking in my neighborhood, and I have to do it. And I can't resist.
I have stopped, rolled down the window, and went and turkeys
See, I
passing by.
have a different
because-
reaction. I get furious when I see those turkeys.
What?
Yeah.
I do. When I
Really?
see them, I was like, "You goddamn turkeys!" Like I get so mad.
Was this movie
I-
triggering for
I
you?
feel like I have like this rivalry with the turkeys, and I
Really?
don't know why.
Oh my god!
They just make me angry. Just the sight of them.
For all of you dear Braylers who don't know, we have a roving gang of turkeys.
It's like 30 of them. It's a lot.
Not
yeah.
a lie.
We have
Yeah.
a turkey
that
problem
wander
in our town.
this city.
And
Yeah.
sometimes they roost in Colin's trees, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
it's pretty.
They have taken
yeah.
they have taken over.
the
Yeah.
Rockford
This-
turkeys. Are,
Yes.
The Rockford turkeys
yeah.
are. There should be a horror movie about the Rockford
No,
turkeys.
right.
There should be. I'll write
Yeah.
it.
There really
do we
should.
have a local sports team, even a bowling league, like
Yeah.
named
Yeah,
after
the
the
turkeys.
turkeys?
Like-
It's bowling
Which would make
league.
sense
Yes, there
because
you go.
getting
Yes,
turkeys.
yeah, yeah.
Why is this not a thing?
It could
Yeah.
be.
It should
I'm not
be.
familiar with local
Yeah.
bowling.
All right, so we starting the Saturday Night Freak Show bowling league, and
Yeah.
we're the turkeys.
The turkeys.
I suck at bowling, but sure.
I mean, I'm not great either, but it'd be fun.
I was gonna say write a movie that's like a fucking bowling comedy about the Rockford turkeys.
A bowling comedy about
Yeah.
the Rockford. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone write that down.
I thought we were
Bowling-
doing a horror movie.
We can do both.
Yeah.
Okay.
We contain multitudes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
As long
Herschel
as it's
is
better than this movie. I think we can pull it.
What are you talking about? This might be the greatest anti-drug movie since Reefer Madness.
I think it might be.
Probably. Yeah.
You guys can claim that. Your name's on that. Pull
I mean,
forward.
I did think of that movie a lot while we
Yeah,
were
same.
watching this. I'm like,
Sure.
okay, this is about with as much sincerity as that movie and as much aptitude for actual filmmaking. Herschel goes to this job, right?
Mhm.
Which
Goes
is
to the turkey
basically the
farm.
turkey farm. There's two.
there's a lab and scientists, quote unquote, on this
Yeah.
turkey.
I didn't see that ahead of time.
No, didn't
Like you
think
go
of
to a Florida turkey farm, and there's scientists inside.
I
and
wouldn't
they
have
are
expected
like,
it either.
they're like, well, if you want
There's
to make
so many
some,
surprises in this movie.
yeah, it takes some twists. It's like, well, if you want to make some extra money, right? You can, participate in our science experiments.
Because at first the dad's just like, hey, you're just going to do some odds and ends around the farm.
Until we figure out where you fit in.
Yeah, and then as soon as he leaves, the scientist is like, you're going to do some experiments.
Yeah. And they're like, it was like, so what?
You want to get fucked up?
What are these
They
experiments?
basically say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because what is the experiment?
He's
turkey?
going to. Yeah, he's the taste tester. He's going to eat the turkey.
He's the jester who makes sure the turkey's not poisoned before it goes to the king.
Basically, they're trying to like follow like the FDA rules, like to check like the chemical levels in their turkey, but they're having him test
It's
it.
like we're just missing a human subject to test the turkey to make sure nothing happens.
Do you think they saw his size and they were like, he could take down a whole turkey?
Exactly.
I think so.
Yeah,
because
I think
they're like,
so, too.
the bigger the better, just in case we can give him more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So show up tomorrow and
It's like
bring your
fucking
appetite.
Frankenstein. They're like, that's our guy.
Yes.
Yeah. But they also like,
Sammy's fucking huge.
weren't they also like, we'll make it worth your while because we can get you other drugs too.
Yeah.
Like,
More drugs.
They're basically like, yeah, this might fuck you up a little bit, but if you really want to get fucked up, we can help you with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida.
God damn it,
Yep.
Florida.
God damn.
So,
It's a lawless wasteland.
so that's when he experiences withdrawals, which involves a seizure on the lawn. He's found, I think, by the. Oh no, wait,
Not yet.
not yet.
Well,
This
he has-
first seizure,
He's starting to like feel a little off. But
Yep.
He's going home for the day. Well, home. He's staying with
right? Yeah.
the sisters.
With Angel.
But yeah, he goes home today, and then now it's like kicking in, and he's like shaking, and he's got like the sweats.
Totally believable performance.
Amazing seizure.
Incredible,
Yeah.
incredible.
Telling it.
And Anne is freaking out, and she's like, I'm gonna call the drug dealer, and he's like, yeah, call the drug dealer. So she calls him. He's like, gotta come over right away. So he comes over and brings his next dose of laced
supply.
whatever
Yeah.
whatever he laced the weed with.
Well,
I like this scene because you just see like the pants of the guy in the doorway in the background. Like as he's like sitting there shaking, you just see like the leisure pants standing in the doorway. I love that. I don't know.
Well, he hooks him up with the supply.
He does,
There's a
and
couple threats of like, you hook me and now
Well, he
you're going
smokes
to give
it.
this to me for free.
he smokes it and he calms down. He's like, why do I get the feeling I've been hooked? And it's just like, you had one joint, my
Right.
friend.
And 70s weed, so it was weak as shit and
Yeah, but it's
terrible
laced-
back then.
It's laced with
It's laced with
heroin.
something, yeah.
But
It's laced with heroin.
You can't say that just because we saw heroin later. That
Right.
This is what's
That was a
but
different
probably.
drug dealer. That was the
Yes.
heroin guy. Guy was the.
But he needs the drug blood. It's not the same drug blood.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. Okay. We'll
Okay.
get into that.
You made a fair connection that I did not even think of as to
Oh, what-
why he
this
would
is-
want the blood.
Drug blood.
Yeah, that's where the
Drug blood.
the girls who do drugs get dropped off by the. Okay,
all
and he's
right.
like, "This
All
is
right.
hunting ground."
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
we're gonna
I
get
was a
there.
little shocked at the whole movie. I didn't quite put
Right.
that together. Pardon me.
So,
This movie takes a little discussion to get it fully straight.
well, the next
That's why
day
we're here.
he goes
Yeah.
back to work and he gobbles down an entire
An
Okay.
turkey.
entire turkey.
in
Yes.
front of the whole farm of turkeys.
Who are
Like
we-
he's sitting out
right?
there while they're
This is
they're watching.
like, this is like a 15-pound turkey.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And
It's
he's
a full cooked Thanksgiving turkey.
and he's also like charging, like making a power statement to these turkeys
Yeah,
by doing
gonna
this
get
too,
right
right?
from
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, but did
yeah.
you know him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you like him?
Yeah.
Because I do.
Yeah.
Are you hungry? This isn't for you.
Hey,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
God. The idea of taking down this much turkey at once just.
Well,
This is the
Although-
true
although-
horror.
you're saying he
This
deserved
week-
what
this
happened
week
to
I'm
him.
about
No,
to-
I'm just saying, like, I can't even imagine what that would feel like to eat that much turkey
Oh my
at once.
God.
Like a whole
Very
15
filling.
pound.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Knowing
Like-
that this movie was just a film class, I want to know if someone's mom made this turkey.
Oh, yeah,
Right, yeah.
sure.
I
'Cause
really want to know.
When he was cutting into it, I'm like, "Oh man, you're not going to get a second take on this.
Yeah,
like, you got cut
exactly.
from one side, so you can
Yep.
turn it
you
around."
get
and
one, you get
Yeah.
2 cuts tops.
Yeah.
That's it.
So he gorges himself on the turkey.
He does his
Right.
job.
Right. The chemical laced turkey, we don't know what or anything.
We
but
don't know the chemicals. We just know that he did his job.
Yep.
Did,
He
did.
ate that turkey.
And then he wanders off and collapses and begins to convulse.
Yeah,
And-
collapses 10 minutes after I wanted
Not
him
just
to.
because of the tryptophan coma,
Right.
but the chemicals within the bird.
But, yep.
Yeah.
That's what we all wanted.
So he's found by the scientists who take his pulse and leave him there.
Even
until-
though his chest is heaving.
Yep.
This man is
Heaving.
very alive.
And doesn't
Very
Dad
much
say
alive.
something about you just dumped him? And we're like, was he
we're supposed
dead?
No, we're supposed to think that they took the body and dumped it elsewhere.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah,
oh,
but
man.
they like tell the dad because he's like, you just
Right, now we
dumped
gotta
him?
now
You
we
just-
gotta look out for murder raps.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know about you, but I don't feel good about this. This is getting out of control. We should split. You mean right now, today?
Yes.
These guys and all the people from work together.
Right. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
share.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
shared
They're all
universe.
similar attitudes. Shared universe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. And then we cut back to Herschel, still laying in exactly the same place where he was before.
Still seizing.
Yes.
Still seizing.
But a change begins to come over him. Right?
Why is this the only change?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I was hoping he was going to keep progressing.
Like feathers on the body.
Yeah.
You know,
I can
Yeah.
answer that. 25,000.
25,000. Yeah, exactly.
So this is a weird, I mean, it's a weird movie, but this
Yeah.
is a weird reach. You know, when you're
Yes.
sitting there and you're like, okay, I want to make a movie that encourages people not to do drugs and to turn to the Lord, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a movie where a guy, his
Only
head
so many movies can accomplish both.
turns
It's a very
into
short
turkey
list.
head.
I want a shirt that just says, "Don't do drugs, turn to the Lord."
Just for the turkey face on it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yes.
Nothing is more frightening, I would say to most people, than if you do drugs, you may turn into
You
a
might turn
giant
into a turkey. If
Now,
this was a possibility,
That's
the
always
war
what
on
I'm
drugs
worried
would be
about.
over.
but I mean, it gets even better because we're like, oh shit. I mean, it was just basically like, you know, all of a sudden there's a shot, you know, mysterious reveal from his legs, pan up. Oh my God, turkey head.
Kinda. Like we
Right.
get a vague,
It's a flash.
real
Yeah.
flash.
It's like
yeah.
it's like the flash of the demon in the
I could
Exorcist.
make out.
Yes,
I could
yes.
make out an eyeball.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Holly,
Until-
that
And a
makes me
beak.
want to edit that scene of The Exorcist where it's this turkey face flashing instead
Yeah.
of Pazuzu. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was like, okay, this is about as much as we're going to get of this because they don't have confidence in
Oh,
their
no.
makeup.
Oh, no.
Not this.
That will not stop them, Colin.
Not
No, no.
this movie. No.
So he goes back to the house where Anne is asleep, and in a scene that is shot in the dark, right?
This was like 10 minutes of black screen
The
for us.
dark.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see a sliver. I was like, is
You
this
could see-
Anne or Angel? I have no
Yeah,
idea
all
who's
you
going
could see
to.
was that it was a waterbed with leopard sheets,
Yep.
and there was a woman wearing red.
Yeah.
You know in cartoons
That's
when
it.
the lights go out and they're just floating
Eyeballs?
eyeballs? That's what this scene
Yeah.
was.
That's what this is.
Yeah,
Definitely. You ever been driving on a back road and flip your headlights off for a second? It's that dark.
Now, a lot of information is conveyed in this scene.
And in the best way. In the
Because-
best way possible.
So Herschel, even though, so first of all, you know, you get the scene that you would assume happens, right? The guy creeps in, the monster
Yeah.
creeps into the room. She wakes up, she sees him, she screams, she passes out, but it keeps going because then he wanders over to somewhere off screen
Yeah.
and comes back with a bunch of note paper pages.
Is that before he like is putting the moves on her? Because at one point,
That comes later.
Is that
So
later? Okay,
that's
okay.
we're building to
Okay,
this.
okay.
So
oh, you're right. Because there's the whole conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right,
Yes,
you're right.
so apparently he is handing
Heavy
her
quotes around the conversation part of that sentence.
He's handing her handwritten notes that basically say, "It's Herschel. I've turned into a turkey." You know.
But we're
Right,
seeing
but we-
these.
but
we're
we-
seeing these notes like be handed from off screen.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And
And so,
her reaction.
so you have to use your own mind as to what's on these, and what we've come up with is that he drew the hand
drew
turkey,
the hand
he, like,
turkey.
and put equals Herschel.
Yes.
Is what he did.
And God.
Or an
see,
arrow and just says me.
Right.
Yes.
Me.
See, if we were in this film class, we already would have made this movie better because that would have been how we would have told the
Right, and we would have there
information.
would have been a reverse shot
Yes.
of that.
Of that, yes.
paper
Yeah.
in its simplicity
Yes.
that said, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm a turkey."
Yes. Yes.
I know this is a lot to deal with. Right
I know,
now.
but Anne has a lot to deal with because she's like, "What?
boy,
You're a
does she.
turkey? Oh my God, I
She's
feel
very
responsible."
Accepting. Very accepting.
She's like, this is my fault. What do we
Yeah.
do? What if you never change back?
Right.
What if we get married? And like, what?
Yeah. What would our kids
Oh, yeah,
be
she goes the
like?
next 20 years.
And then
Okay, to be fair, when you're stoned, that is how your train of thought goes.
Yep,
And you don't have answers for any of it, so you just keep asking more questions.
What if we have kids,
Yep.
will they look like their father?
What if I fuck the turkey
And
man?
then, because then the lights go out. She's like, Herschel, what are you doing?
Oh,
Herschel. And we're like, what the?
And that's when I'm like, Sean's gonna be right. Now it'll be a porno. This is the moment it's gonna switch.
Right,
gears.
when the turkey head goes on, then we're just like, when you don't want it, that's when they give it to you. Sure.
Did we?
How it always happens.
We didn't mention it, but that scene when light goes out, she goes, "Oh, Herschel." That scene is punctuated with a turkey gobble.
Gobble. It's cinema.
Yeah. There was a scene earlier when he was convulsing where they were playing that.
Gobble, yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, he's at a turkey farm. Is that the turkeys? But no, I think
No, it
that
was
was him
The gobble in
transforming.
his head.
It was him
Yeah.
transitioning.
So, cut to, right? Anne is now distraught.
She's not, though.
The morning after.
She just like calls her stoner buddies over and she was just like, I don't know what to do. Like that's
Yeah.
Will you handle this,
Well-
Scooby and Shaggy?
she's like, I feel like I'm in an episode of Star Trek
Or the Twilight
or the
Zone.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And so her hippie buddies are like, whatever you're talking about. And she's like, no, he's here. Herschel's here. You can see him. She's like, Herschel, why don't you come out? And Herschel appears in the doorway, and then we cut away. And I was like, I wanted to see their reactions
Right.
to what the,
Yes.
but no, that's it. It's over. So
I think it was my reaction at the end of this one, just like, I have to go home. That would have been what I expected from them. It's like, I gotta go. I was not prepared for this.
now we do cut back to, I think there's several scenes now that are coming up that we're going to cut back to Anne's conversation with these two guys, which starts off as like, how do we help him? And ends with, he's not his head. We got to talk about his head. And we're like, well, yeah, it's a big giant turkey head, but no, he's not a man anymore.
Not right. He's not Herschel anymore.
And he could hurt somebody. We're
No
going to have
shit,
to take
he's a
care of this.
turkey.
Like, okay, we're going to take care of this. And I'm like,
We'll
holy shit,
we'll
this
handle
is
it.
escalated. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to
It
handle
was-
it. This is
yeah.
after they've been like,
Right.
Yeah, it went
Oh,
from
we'll
we have
handle
to
it.
take care of him to no, we got to take care of
Yeah.
him real quick.
Yeah.
well, why do they have to take care of him? What? So Herschel apparently left this little soiree
He did.
and wandered off into the night.
Mm-hmm.
The day for night.
Yep. Where he goes around looking in people's windows. And again,
Right.
Florida, so everyone is a drug dealer or doing drugs. He
Obviously.
stumbles
Yep.
upon a
There's
guy.
a peeping Tom pun in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
A peeping Tom.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the male turkey is called a Tom.
Yeah.
There's something in here. There's
Oh, is
something.
there?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
Like the
And
tur-
birds peep.
like the
when they're
turkey Tom
low.
from
Yeah.
Jimmy John's.
Yeah. yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wow, Jimmy John's just made sense to me.
I'm a little confused
You're
by this part of the movie, right? Because he just wanders
This
around
part?
and finds, well, it's very possible that his superhuman power, which we were saying he didn't seem to exhibit many of them, but maybe he can seek out, he knows where the drugs are. He's hyper tuned to where the
So
drugs
he's like
are.
a
This feels like a resident of Florida would know that.
Okay,
Right.
so he finds the one with
Drug radar.
the heroin dealer, right,
Right.
who's shooting up these girls. And then once
And then dropping them off in the middle of the woods.
is that what's happening?
Well, the first one, he just like waits out in the driveway until she leaves to
Yep.
go to her car. And before she gets in her car, he picks her up and runs away.
No, she's silent. We see the
She's just
kicking
kicking
feet
her feet. Yeah.
till he goes behind a tree, and then there's a scream.
Did anybody
Yeah.
else think these were like sex workers who would get dropped off at the same place to like
It's very
report
possible.
to their
yeah.
pimp, and
I
then
mean,
That makes sense.
and
That's
then
what-
he just knows that this is where they all get dropped off, so I will find them there. And drugs
But
just
he,
happen to be
isn't
a
he
part
new
of
to
it.
town?
But you said he's got the drug sensing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
going with.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it did seem.
I'm trying to make sense of what I saw.
We're saying this because Sean is perplexed. Because what apparently happens in several subsequent scenes is a car pulls up, a beautiful woman gets out, but we can tell by her smile, inappropriate smile, that she is high as a kite. And then,
And it's different women that we have not seen
Yes.
before.
Right.
Yeah.
and then
And who-
Herschel attacks.
Right, who don't seem to know what they're doing. But the first woman we see gets dropped out of the car. The car, she looks apprehensive. The car drives off, and the next cut is her leaning against a tree in some sort of pleasurable form or something in which she gets grabbed and strangled by Herschel.
Yeah.
So
I
we're
think
missing
she's-
a lot.
Yeah, I think she's just in the drug euphoria.
Probably.
I think. But yes,
Or she was trying to go pee by a tree. And
also
and
that.
she was, I don't
who
know.
knows?
There's a lot missing in the
it's a
edits.
mystery. I will tell you right now that this movie was severely edited to go from an X rating to an R rating.
Really?
Really, these
Really?
film students are going for it, huh?
Like X rating, like sex
The cut
scenes,
that
or
the cut we didn't see was much more explicit.
but gore?
Gore, sex.
What kind of film school is this?
Right.
Okay, so they cut all the sex out. It's
Mostly
implied.
gore. Mostly
yeah, okay,
gore,
so the
but
There
gore.
is considering this is there is nudity in this movie. It's
Yeah.
a very small amount, but
Yeah.
I can.
There was
like we.
It's mostly gore, but there was some sex. Yeah.
You see so much opportunity for sex
Right,
within
right.
this movie.
Right.
So
Yeah.
much opportunity. Like it was almost the first idea for this movie,
Yeah.
and then we repurposed it for other reasons.
So Herschel, right, who is he can write, notes to his girlfriend and express himself. So basically, he's a thinking. He's a man,
He's a self-aware man with a turkey head.
right? Because they're going for like
Yes.
The Fly or something, right?
Yeah,
Except the fly
basically,
actually
yeah.
knows that it's
Sure.
like he's
That's
head swapped with a turkey.
Generous.
But he's a turkey, so he's like roast me.
Yeah.
So
Bad.
So what
bad
is he
turkey
doing
fly
though?
joke.
Like what? Because this again, I was like trying to work out motive here. But what is he doing? He's attacking these women
He
and
is
then what?
attacking these women
He's a drug
and
addict.
draining their blood to drink it because it is drug blood. It is feeding his drug habit.
He's a blood freak.
He's a blood freak, Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they make like a joke about Bible freak, blood freak in this? They said something about a Bible freak early on. I'm like, is that where they got the title? They're like,
Maybe.
it's a blood freak.
Ooh, I don't know.
Okay. He was talking about Angel. Or somebody
I
was
know who he's talking
Angel.
about.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's
Maybe.
only one Bible thumper in this movie.
So he hangs them upside down
Mm-hmm.
at some house somewhere.
yeah.
And then stabs him in the throat. There's gore effects, right? Blood.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
of squirting blood. Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
squirting blood.
scream.
There is a scream that is
dear Lord.
looped for
Here's the looping.
a significant amount of time.
Yeah, it's one scream, just looped over and over again, and it's noticeable to say
To
the
the
least.
point
Yes.
where you're like, just how do I make it
Just
stop?
stop.
It's prominent.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And
And
it's
what?
used-
This movie's an hour and 20.
It is 86 minutes.
Yeah. This scream made up a significant portion of that
It felt like
runtime.
it.
45 minutes
Yep.
of this
Yeah.
movie.
It's used in multiple scenes.
Yep.
Everyone gets a looped scream.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we see a couple back-to-back girls being drained.
Yeah, so he's murdering
but
innocent
we also
people.
see like a couple older guys come get killed too. It's like in a really bad kung fu movie when the bad guys just keep taking their turns and coming to
Yeah.
be beat up.
Right,
It's kind
exactly.
of like
well,
that.
some of them it was like, okay, so the older guy shows up and he witnesses. I think like that's the thing. People are just walking out of the dark and like, oh my god,
a lot
there's
of
a
people walking around the dark and
Birdman, like slitting women's throats over there.
Tracks with your theory that this is just men cruising for
I think so.
sex.
So he's
Yeah,
in the,
seems like it.
So
that's the
they're
spot.
that's the spot. It
Right.
matches Sean's theory. So,
So,
we'll go with that.
because I thought the older guy was like a neighbor, because it seemed like it was by house. I could be wrong because there's no establishing shots, as we said.
That could be
And
too.
then I took it that the other guy was his son, who was like, that bird freak like killed my paw, hops a fence
Yeah,
and
that's
tracks
what I
down Herschel
felt too,
and
yeah.
stabs him in the head.
Yes, and there's
Right.
some turkey screams.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those turkey screams get repeated. And then he pulls out the thing and stabs
Stabs the turtleneck guy.
Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate.
Okay. So now Herschel is wounded.
He's
It doesn't
wounded.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
No,
Okay, so
it
for the
does
rest of the
not.
movie,
It does
basically,
not
he just
matter.
limps around a lot,
Yep.
but he still doesn't.
No, this is an apathetic turkey-headed man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is what he is for most of the second half of this movie. He is, because he's wandering around just like,
Yeah. He's having a crisis of faith.
Yes, he really is.
Yeah.
A crisis of self.
Yeah.
I've been stabbed in the
I
head.
appreciate the sounds that you just made to our viewers who didn't see your actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I know.
You know.
I know. Think of it
Our
more
listeners,
as
all our listeners just heard those noises.
right. Think of it more in a
Those-
pathetic way than a sexual way.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
He's very.
Sean's got some fans now.
Some people are going to clip out that section of the podcast.
So I'm trying to think what in the hell happens
Right.
next.
So
Yeah.
at this point, Anne
okay.
has called the drug dealer again.
Yes.
Guy is back on the
Guy
scene.
is back
so
on the scene.
Guy and Guy supplier also comes in
Guy's
at this
supplier,
point.
yeah, are at Anne's house. Anne is, I think she's just clueless about
Very.
the severity of the situation because she's just like, I'm going to go to sleep now.
She went to sleep happy. She's very
She's
clueless about
very
the situation.
calm.
I think
very
anytime
happy.
anybody's smiling, that means they're high.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense.
We'll go with
that makes
that.
more sense. And
That
the
I
drug
agree.
dealer's there,
Yeah.
plus the supplier. So I assume she's probably,
Right.
yeah.
And the drug dealer guy just gives her away.
Yeah, he's just like, hey,
I know I owe you money,
I know I owe you, but
but here's this woman.
here's a
instead.
payment in another form. So he allows the supplier to go into Anne's room, and as she's sleeping, he grabs her,
Yes.
and she calls out Herschel,
Mhm,
which
mhm.
again, as I said during
Oh, Herschel, and you're like,
as I said during the film, I was like, best case scenario. You're hoping that it's a half man, half turkey groping
Yeah.
you right now.
well,
Yeah.
remember that scene in the dark, though. I mean,
Best case scenario.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
And this movie is not best case scenario
No.
in any form.
well, once she realizes that it's not Herschel, she
Yeah.
wakes up, starts screaming. He strangles her
Yeah.
to death.
But that's not clear.
Wait, did she die?
She died. She is strangled
She-
to death.
Again, it's not clear that that's what happened,
Well,
but it is what happened.
because
I forgot. It doesn't matter.
yeah, there's shots that we were trying to make sense of because the guy who may have killed her looks at the camera and he's like,
Right. And Herschel
And
is
they're-
also being cut to
yeah, they're
walking up,
cutting
but
to-
he's also
They're
outside.
cutting
Yeah.
to Herschel, like
so there's
staring.
an impossibility here.
So
Yeah.
you're either reading it as he's like, oh my God, she's dead, I killed her,
Yeah.
or you're reading it as, oh my God, there's a turkey man after me.
But essentially, there is a turkey man after him because he's running after he's killed her, and Herschel is following him,
Yes.
and eventually does find him
Right. In the garages of Florida.
This is a great scene for discussion because we don't know where they are. But what were your interpretations? We said junkyard.
Well, he went into he went into there. It's a line of many garage doors, and he goes in one of them. But it
Okay.
appears that once he enters that, he is in all of them.
Right.
Right.
This is a big storage facility with many garage doors for some
Okay.
reason. So it's a warehouse.
It's a warehouse.
For
Or
some
And
it's,
there's
just
tools.
like storage wars.
Yeah.
Right?
There's tires, but there's
Storage
also
units.
Right. The
saws.
tools and saws. Yeah.
Right.
So things happen here for some reason.
Right. So it's a factory. Or it could be a.
I say it's a warehouse of some sort that
Warehouse.
produces something. If nothing else, lumber.
I still say it's a battleship just because that's fun.
Yeah, Hollywood battleship.
Right.
At this point, we can't say she's wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't know.
So,
Anything's
there you go.
possible in this movie.
But
It's Florida.
whatever it is, he has access to a very large saw.
Yes.
Table saw.
Table
a
saw,
very
yeah.
large table saw.
And he knocks out this guy, the
Yeah.
drug dealer,
the supplier,
the
yeah.
supplier,
Yeah.
sorry, and puts him on the table, turns on the table saw, and we get the big showpiece moment of the movie.
Yes.
It would appear to be.
Yes.
He saws this guy's leg off while he's asleep. The guy wakes up, of course, is like,
Right.
Okay,
And then he
song
gets
off.
Right.
We don't see the song happen
There was a cut.
because there is a unfortunate edit right at the moment you want to
Unfortunate
see.
edit right when you don't
Yep.
want it.
where they
to be edited.
replace something where the effect didn't work
Yeah.
with like
Yep.
the bloody one.
Right.
So the
Even
guy's got
if
a
this
bloody
guy
stump.
was an amputee, which he was.
He was an amputee.
That's
yes.
cool.
They still didn't do
Which
it.
is-
like
right.
Yeah.
if you have the amputee, you shouldn't need the edit that
Right.
fucks this whole
Exactly.
thing up.
But that is why they hang on it for so long when he's laying there and his stump
Yeah.
is like shooting blood.
Right,
They hang
because
on it for a long
right,
time because
and
they're
he
like,
gets a scream. But
Yeah.
here we go with the looping again.
Yeah.
Because he's got the one scream that is just looped over over.
I
and
bet
over
you
and
they only
over.
had one of the prop leg, and
Oh, yeah.
when it went through the saw, it got all bunched up and fucked up and
Oh, yeah.
stopped
Like,
the
yeah,
saw
yeah.
or something. And then they were like, "Well, that was the one leg we cut, so we're gonna have to just
so we just
cut
have
around
to
it."
like
Yeah.
cut to aftermath.
Yeah.
And he's literally just like holding up his bloody stump that's shooting out blood, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of like landing on the turkey face.
Like the
Yep.
turkey, like he positions himself under the leg to get the blood
Yeah.
Right,
into his head.
right.
It is porn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he
and
is
it
a
is.
blood freak.
It is. Yep.
And so that's what he
I
wants.
thought he was
100%
trying to drink it, but they don't shoot it that way.
No,
so
they
it's
don't.
like,
They
what?
shoot it from a wider angle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Weird.
just like letting it fall on his face.
Yeah.
Right, because
Porn.
it's like they had. It's like we're gonna shoot it from this angle. It's like, all right, we can't reset. This is the only time we get at this. So I guess it's gonna be in this wide angle.
Yeah, it's a paper mache turkey head. They can't like do too much to it.
True, that's very true.
They're gonna ruin it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's probably the only one they have. So
Yeah.
Where's
So-
this turkey head now?
Right. Yeah.
Do you think it's still around
Oh,
as paper mache?
that is-
I'm sure it disintegrated.
It disintegrated
Oh, no.
a long time ago.
No, it's in the.
They burned it when the movie was done. They're
Yeah.
like, we're not keeping this.
It's in the Gulf of Mexico. Right?
All right, I got a couple questions real quick because Herschel was on a blood rampage. Did he ever deal with Guy, the drug dealer who gave him the drug that
He did not.
messed him up?
No.
Did he deal with the heroin dealer who was injecting all the girls who would show
No.
up at the drop?
No, he
zone?
ran away. No,
he
that
did
guy ran
not.
away. No.
Okay.
No, only.
I'm just
innocent
making sure.
victims
Okay.
In this, it would seem.
Well, that's all going to come to an end here because, dear listener, if you've been paying attention, that's right, you realize that Anne's two hippie friends are out looking for Herschel, and they're going to deal with him, and deal with him they do.
I forgot it. And
Yes.
it's paced well enough. And I hate to say that about this movie, but it's paced well enough where I forgot about them until they showed up, which is how you should
Right.
should be for these two characters,
Right.
But who end up again? We get back to apathetic turkey man walking through the woods, and then silent stoner killers coming after him with a machete, who find him, and there's that big slice to the head.
They behead Herschel the turkey man.
Do they? Because
Well,
all we get is a cut to an actual turkey
Yeah, this is
With
not
its head cut
with
off,
its head cut off.
flapping around on
Yeah.
the ground.
Worse than any fake dead cat I've ever brought to the show.
And then we see the paper mache head next to a cooked turkey, and people are
Just
grabbing
grabbing
Fistfuls.
it, like
fistfuls of turkey.
fistfuls. And I mentioned that like I haven't seen anything this bad since Faces of Death.
Yeah.
Because there was a scene in Faces of Death later turned out to be a film scene, not true, but it was supposed to be a realistic like cannibals eating a body.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so they're all grabbing at
Yeah.
it just like this.
Gosh.
Later learned
Yeah.
it was fake, but just reminiscent of that.
And Dawn of the Dead had come out
Yeah,
before this.
yeah,
and all that.
yeah.
But it is the hands come in and tear this turkey apart. We don't actually see. It's just like an overhead shot with like this. It's Herschel's turkey head,
Yep.
and you're like,
next to
are
an
they
actual turkey.
eating his body? Are they tearing
It's too
his
small in
body
his
apart?
body. It should have been a very large turkey. It would have been very
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Very funny. As we learn that this is a satire based on our last cut to of our narrator,
Oh my god.
who
Well, there's still the movie's not. So
Okay,
I
okay,
thought
keep going.
I thought
Oh yeah,
this
yeah.
was
There's
it.
more.
Right? I thought like, wow, this is the end of the movie. Like and you're like,
right,
okay,
Herschel's dead. They're eating his body. next
stick
to
a
his head.
fork in it. It's
Yeah.
done. But no, all of a sudden, Herschel wakes up in the field.
It
Yeah.
was a drug-induced fever dream.
Yes.
So then it's all of a sudden, oh my God, this
I was
whole
very
movie
angry.
is
very
saying
angry.
that basically if you do drugs and don't know what you're putting in your body, you could have hallucinations like Herschel over here.
So-
I mean,
It's
if
very
that's the
dangerous.
worst that happens, it's not that bad, So, but
Well, what happens? It's like
this
We've seen-
inspires him to get sober.
I was like, we've seen Requiem for a Dream.
yeah, I know it can get worse. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which seems like it's made by, well, see, I was sitting there going like, is this movie made by people who are just like, sitting around, I got an idea for a movie. We should do, what if we had a
Yes.
giant turkey head, But
yes, it
Requiem
is.
for a Dream feels like it's made by people who have a too much of an understanding
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
darker side of drug abuse. So Herschel wakes up, but he's not feeling good.
No.
And so what are they going to do? How are they going to help Herschel? There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens at this point because we learn, right, the reason why the turkey chemical really messed with Herschel.
Mm-hmm. Herschel was in Vietnam.
We get way,
This man hasn't been
we
through
get
enough.
way serious at this moment. We're just like, oh, all right.
Herschel's in Vietnam, and he's been given drugs to cope with
He got
his
burned.
lasting
Mm-hmm.
injuries from Nam.
He got burned in Nam, and he
He did.
needed drugs to help deal with the pain. Understandable,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
but you know,
So then he started self-medicating,
yeah.
right? Because that wasn't enough.
Which is
Yeah.
all just too real.
And
So
would
then he
smoke some
had
pot.
the laced pot
Mhm.
and then the turkey chemical and all of this because he was already an addict, which we didn't know until this point.
Right? Yeah.
This chemical stew like caused this crazy movie length hallucination in which he envisioned himself turning into a giant killer turkey man.
Yeah.
I mean, the imagery is there. He's working at a turkey farm.
Right.
He just ate a turkey in front of other turkeys.
understandable.
Right.
When you go down in front of turkeys, that may infiltrate your
Right,
mind.
right.
and
So,
They have turkey fantasies.
He's got to go to rehab.
Mm-hmm.
And who runs the rehab?
Angel.
Yep. So Angel's back on the case, and she
Jesus rehab.
she has to call. Oh yeah, that's right. Because she's like, she goes and picks him up.
Yep.
She's like, you got to pray to the Lord and
And
give you a
he
second
does.
chance.
He does in front of her and in front of us.
Yeah,
The passenger
works.
seat of his car just prayed away. Yeah.
but it works because he's saved by the end of the movie.
He's sober and on a dock.
Yeah, he meets Anne at a pier
Mm-hmm.
because apparently he's gone back to the other sister again.
Now Anne feels horribly guilty. That's also like part
Sure.
of this. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
she says over and over again, "I feel guilty that it's all my fault. I did this to him. I gave him the drug and encouraged this." But she is really into him,
She,
Mhm.
yeah,
and he's apparently into her because they meet on this dock, and it's like, woohoo, we're together again.
Yeah, walked in and dock at the end.
Yeah,
Is,
I missed all the rest of the '70s slang. There was dough and bread
for
for money, and I was like, "Do you have to do something to the dough to make it into the bread?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, now you sound too old, Dad.
You got some bread, man? Yeah, I got some dough. Maybe just don't use them that close together. You can use
I
one or
agree
the
with
other,
that.
but
I agree with that. Use them.
maybe, yeah, maybe dough is money itself, and bread is when you earn it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Dear listener, you didn't see Holly going, I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
Makes as much sense as the rest of this movie. I don't know.
And that brings us to the conclusion of Blood Freak.
Yeah,
It
think
sure
it's a
does.
conclusion, but it's a whole movie that will haunt us for a while. I have a feeling.
All right. Well, we don't want to hold you in suspense. We are going to go
Yeah.
around the table
Yeah,
and
what are you
tell
waiting
you
for?
what we thought of this movie individually. But first, before we do that, we're going to answer some of your mail. That's right. Some of you may have seen this before.
Has anyone seen this?
Nobody
Yes.
has seen this.
Yes, they have.
What?
We're going to find out
Weird
when we
listeners.
I can't wait.
when we summon our mailman. Igor, bring us the mail.
Masters, the mail. I've got the mail. So many letters. Our followers are rising.
Why, thank you, Igor.
We should get him a paper mache turkey head for the holidays.
Oh, that'd be fun. You can wear that around.
He can wear that while we watch Blood Rage together.
We will,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
And we will be watching
Yeah.
Blood Rage, our annual sojourn.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we did an episode on Blood Rage,
Yes.
the other Thanksgiving
Yes.
horror movie,
Is it
aside from
like-
Thanksgiving.
Why are they not showing
Thanksgiving.
Blood Rage at the drive-in?
Right?
Like it is.
Yeah,
It is almost the
seriously.
ultimate drive-in.
It is
movie.
because the opening scene's at a drive-in. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So like the September all-night movie thing
Yeah.
should
Yes.
have so close.
Could you
Blood
imagine
Rage.
hearing that soundtrack through like drive-in speakers? Dun dun.
That'd be good.
Dun dun.
Well, we should let the good folks at home know how they can participate on this interactive portion of our show by following along on Facebook,
Facebook.com/SaturdayNightFreakShow.
on X,
At Sat Freak Show.
by email,
SaturdayNightFreakShow@yahoo.com.
or on Threads and Instagram at Saturday Night Freak Show. About tonight's movie, Blood Freak. Michael Whitaker writes in and says, "Oh, wow, I've tried to watch this movie. Tried being the operative word here. Unless there's a more cleaned up version of this, I really couldn't get past the poor quality of the film and the audio." He probably also watched it on YouTube.
Yep.
But it also makes sense why you would pick this movie in the limited world of Thanksgiving horror movies. This is definitely one you'd put there. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Wow.
We are thankful for
Yes.
We're thankful for you. I hope no one ever puts the work into making this better.
I mean, you said it was out on DVD,
Yeah,
so
I
somebody...
want to see it better. I want to see the
imagine
details.
I imagine someone took a camera, pointed it at this YouTube version, and released it on DVD.
I think it's also on Tubi. But Leamy72 says, school anti-drug videos of the 70s were something else.
Yeah.
Right? I think we
Seriously.
equated this to the truth campaign of the early aughts, probably, I think.
Yeah, well, Leamy says the severed leg was a surprisingly good effect.
Not bad.
I'd give it
Not
that.
bad, except for that edit, yeah.
Oh, I found a poster. I don't know if this is real or not. I hope this
Yeah,
is
no,
real.
that's
This
it.
poster. Is this a real poster?
Yes.
you. Yeah, that's the poster.
It's so good.
It's a great poster.
Oh, yeah.
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 It's a great
And the
poster.
tagline says, "Only the blood of drug addicts can satisfy its thirst."
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more explanation.
This
Thank you.
This is why I'm telling you. These are all things that
Yeah.
made me pick this movie.
This artwork is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. It's one of those great, like, 70s
I think there's opportunity here for you,
exploitation
Michaela,
posters.
to make the best poster for this movie.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I could for sure.
Corpo Agent 73 says, when I heard you were watching Blood Freak, I turned into Marlon Brando at the end of Apocalypse Now. The horror. The horror. He says it's a no-budget Christian anti-drug monster movie. I had more to say, but my brain locked up upon writing that sentence. Don't smoke, kids. Oh, yeah. Wait.
We forgot about the ending.
Yeah.
The very end.
Oh,
When our the Leisure Suit Larry guy
Yes.
reappears.
When we realized satire was alive and well.
Yeah. He starts talking about not putting toxins in your body and
so-
stuff, and
as he's smoking
and starts coughing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
purity, not putting things in your body,
Yeah.
and not the chemicals, and then he's this guy's been smoking the entire time. Like, I didn't think they had it in them.
Yeah.
This surprised the hell. This is the best part of the movie. Like, who knew? They were aware of what was going on,
I know,
or at
'cause-
least this guy was. I still don't know if he's part of the original movie. Like, he feels like an afterthought.
He comes
Down
in
the
like
line.
5 or 6 times in the movie to basically explain what's going on.
Right.
I think that's Brad Grinter.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think
that
so.
would make sense.
I think so.
We couldn't
Okay.
figure out who
Yeah.
was playing anybody. Like, the movie starts with the credits. It's basically
Yeah.
like starring Steve Hawks.
Right,
then it
and there's
cuts
a
away
lot
to-
of cast crew crossover from what I can
Yeah.
tell from the credits and everything. But yeah, very surprised at the satirical ending of this.
When he coughed, I thought it was hilarious because I'm like,
Hilarious.
and then it's like, oh no, he's doing that on purpose. Then it was like, oh man.
Almost all right. It's almost too bad. It's almost too bad that he was doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because
It
I
would have been
wanted
better
that,
if he-
because that
yeah.
first laugh was legitimate. Like, oh my god, they have no idea.
Last week, we watched a movie called Stir of Echoes.
Oh, we did.
And
Yeah.
we said that it's a very Chicago,
So Chicago.
movie. And Roll Tide Zoe, we said, that's probably what we sound like to
Yeah.
our listeners. Roll Tide
yeah.
Zoe says, regarding the actors' accents in the movies, yes, y'all mostly sound like that to my Alabama ears,
There you
except
go.
Sean sounds the most neutral. Michaela is the most distinctive, and Holly
heard
sounds
that before.
the most like the Midwest women who've moved here that I know. Colin definitely has the radio voice, but when he says these are the internet radio superstars at the beginning of each episode, the accent comes out hard on the word these.
I like this breakdown. More
I love
of this,
this.
please.
I love it.
Fascinating.
I'm the most neutral.
I'm
Okay.
very
Yeah.
Midwestern. I
You're
am.
very Midwestern.
You're the
Yeah,
most
most distinct,
distinctive.
yeah.
You're the most
I've-
distinct.
Oh man.
I'm neutral.
The hard
Yeah.
R's.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Wheelan Trackers says, because on our social media we were saying that, we mentioned in the show, I think that Kevin Bacon and David, the writer director,
Kep.
David Kep, re-teamed on
I wish you weren't here?
you were in 2010 or something like whenever. They did it.
Later than that.
And we said that was. I said it was not as good.
Not so good.
And Wayland Tracker says that, well, they didn't have a solid novel by Richard Matheson as the basis for their second effort, like they did with The Stir of Echoes.
Very true.
Davey Howe. What?
Even though it sounds like they changed a lot from the novel.
Gotcha.
For the movie.
Yeah. And Davey Howe says, I love this flick. His sister-in-law is the best.
Leona Douglas is great.
She's great.
I love her.
And says great mystery and even better characters.
Yeah. Everyone, we liked it. Holly, we said on the show that you would have.
I think you would have liked it. Yeah.
You would have liked
You've
it.
seen it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I would have recommended it.
And the week before, we watched a movie called Dagon, and Leany72 writes in again and says, we were talking about Francisco Rabal in that movie is almost, you can't understand it. And he says, every scene with this dude, I felt like I was watching Farmer Fran from The Water Boy. The guy you can't understand was waiting for him to throw the towel.
Seriously. Oh my God.
That's so true.
Yes.
That was like,
yes.
That's the one. Yeah.
But it says, it's crazy when I hear an episode, you guys agree and hit exactly what I was thinking about it. Great episode.
Love it.
Thank you.
Love it.
There it is.
All right. Well, thank you, each of you, for writing in. We really
are thankful for you.
Yes.
It's okay.
But are we thankful for this movie?
Well, we're going to find out. Starting with
Michaela, are you thankful right now?
Oh, man, you're putting me on the spot with this one. Okay, well, I looked up the Freak Show box that this came out of.
All right.
There's only 4 movies in it, and I would like to say congratulations. We've done half of them.
Yay!
This one tonight, Blood Freak.
Sure.
Basket Case is in this.
that makes sense.
Interesting.
A movie called Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks, which I'm very interested
I'm
in.
interested.
Right.
And then another one called She Freak.
She Freak.
She Freak.
All right.
Yes.
Just adding things to
All
the
freaks.
list.
Freaks.
So, there's 4 of us. I think this means Sean and I have to pick the other 2,
Okay,
right?
fine,
Yeah.
I think
We each
so.
got to pick a
All right,
movie from
you
the
got
box set.
She Freak.
Yeah, I'll
I
take
got
She
the- all
Freak.
right, I
Yeah,
got
it
one.
works.
All right.
Yeah.
This is Image Entertainment.
Yes, it is.
Is this
Yeah.
something weird video?
It is something weird video.
Yeah,
You are correct.
So this is a something weird movie.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
got you. Well, who else would have put
Right,
that
right.
out?
Oh, man.
May they rest. Yeah, I think that label is done. But
Yeah.
wow.
Okay, so this movie we had a great time watching it, but it definitely teeters on unwatchable.
Teeters?
It's precariously like tight-roping, unwatchable. I say balancing because there are points it reels me in, right?
Yeah.
But
we laughed.
we laughed.
Also
We had a
hard.
good time with it, and that's where I'm torn because I would recommend watching it in the circumstances we watched it in.
Yeah.
I'm going to say if there's a mystery science theater, there's got to be, right?
Oh, I hope
There's
so.
got to be a mystery science theater of this. I really hope there is.
I
Watch
hope
that
so.
because you're going to need it to get you through the
There's-
times that you can't understand any
There's
dialogue.
so much material
Yes.
for that, or like a riff tracks or something.
Right,
There's
right.
So much material.
I mean, I love these like low budget gems that we uncover because they're so earnest, and I love that about them. They're really going for it, and they're committed to the bit, even though the bit makes no fucking sense to anyone but them.
My Wisconsin winter samurai
I thought
Bloodbeat would disagree with what you're saying right now.
And I did not recommend Bloodbeat.
But
Bloodbeat was boring.
All right,
Yeah,
but
Bloodbeat was
understandable that you didn't.
Yeah,
I agree with
But-
that.
I don't know because it's fun in a midnight movie setting or like a drive-in setting, but I don't know if I'd recommend you just in the mood for a movie to put this on, So I think I have to say no, just because you can only watch it under specific circumstances. And I usually come to the Freak Show a little stoned, and that was that was ideal for watching this movie tonight.
Ideal.
And it's a thing to behold, but I understand why our listener was saying about having a hard time watching it, especially in the beginning.
this is not
no,
a movie.
no,
that
no.
Tough.
This is not a movie you watch alone.
No,
you need people to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you seeing this?
Yes, exactly. So I think I have to give it like a light pass. Sean, what do you think?
I think I'm also going to give it a light pass because you listen to us tonight and
You got it. You got the experience,
right? Yeah, I think you felt that. It's weird. Weird shit happens, and some of it's inexplicable. Some of it's very funny. But should you experience that on your own? No. If you were to watch this movie in a dark room by yourself,
Depressing.
I worry about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that. No, you should only watch this with other people who will get the joke, get the movie, and by that I mean get that it is absurd. It is a 1972 anti-drug movie with a man who eventually turns into a turkey-headed villain,
Paper
killing
mache
people.
turkey head.
Yeah.
Killing people to drink their blood because it has drugs in it.
Aren't you
Wow.
glad I've been going through a 70s phase?
Wow,
lately?
wild movie. But again, you need a movie buddy to watch this with. So
yeah.
at least 2 people minimum when watching this movie, and that's how I recommend it to you. At least that. If you're
Watch
by
it
yourself,
with-
not alone.
Watch it with an adult.
You need
You
a
need a
adult.
witness.
Yeah, right.
you need a witness.
You need a witness.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
this movie. It's just what type of movie it is. Yeah, unless there's more than one person, don't watch this movie. If there is, take your chances, have fun. The 70s were fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin, so I recommend it under those terms. Colin, what did you think?
It is weird because I think I am actually going to recommend this movie.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like,
That's
what?
fine.
am I gonna-"
I'm not gonna.
Well,
no,
I mean,
no one
okay.
ever-
I don't think
For
you have
Colin,
to.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's
okay, yeah.
it's bad. I mean,
Very bad, very
it's barely in focus. It's not even lit. Like, you can't even tell what's
Sometimes
happening.
there are real-time scenes in which you an actor is going to do something, but you will watch them do it in real time.
Yeah,
Yes.
there
For
are-
however long it
and
takes.
then there's other scenes that half of it's missing,
Yep.
and you're like, what? But I was never bored. And I guess, the criteria that I'm looking at, right? It's like there are, it's the good, bad movie thing, right? It's a bad movie, but it's good because it keeps your attention. It's not boring. It is hilarious. I mean, some of the dialogue, what was it? Like, you're really ugly, Herschel, or whatever, when he showed up as the, like, I think the scientist said that to him or something. It was just like, whoa, it is a movie that seems like it's made by complete amateurs who have no idea what they're doing. This provides a lot of entertainment. The gore I thought was okay when it actually did show
When it
up.
happened.
I mean, there are people who go looking for good, bad movies, right?
We are those people.
And we are those people. And this is one of them where I'm like, okay, that one you should probably see. I guess it was interesting that you brought up Blood Beat because I was thinking about that right before. I'm like,
Hard not to.
it's one of those indie movies that somebody put together or whatever, but that one was boring as hell. And
Yes.
this one is not. So I guess for that comparison, that's why I'm like, well, you should probably see this one. Is that weird that I'm recommending?
No, not at all.
Blood Freak,
No,
Holly,
I'm gonna
what
say it
did
is
you
weird.
think?
That's
Yeah,
good.
it's weird.
It's good that it's weird.
I'm surprised.
good.
I'm surprised that you're saying that.
I would never watch it again.
I think this is understood.
Yeah, I think it's
Never again.
I think you
Yeah.
could sit and watch it if you knew that it's a bad. And like, okay, I'm going to watch this tonight and have a bunch
Right.
of yucks. But
Because did you know what we were getting into?
no,
Okay, I think I'm the only person that knew what we were about to watch.
Yeah, probably.
And I didn't know how that was going to affect you. I knew I was going to have a lot of fun.
You really got to go. Like, if you're going to do that, and you've pulled it off successfully tonight, I'd say, because
Thank
you got to
you.
go high
Thank you.
concept
yeah,
and man with turkey head
yeah,
causing havoc.
right.
Pretty high concept. So if you're going to do it, you pulled it off very well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think everything that you've all said is just spot on. I'm going to read some of my favorite comments about this movie. Just different reviews, different clips. The first one being, Blood Freak is a trash film revelation. Peerless, disturbed, and completely stupid. It's a glorification of all things crooked and perplexing in 70s exploitation films.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
These are again more reasons that I picked this because I read these.
If for
Yeah.
nothing else, this is proof that other people have seen this
Right.
movie.
Right.
Abandon all hope of comprehension and savor the abject carnage unleashed by this turkey-headed dope fiend. That's a good one.
Abject, yes.
And the third one, everything about this movie is Ed Wood bad. From the acting, the screenplay, and production values, it's so bad a film that it demands to be seen by those who call themselves weird film addicts or those who just have a perverse need to see a film that's so unbelievable it must be seen to be believed.
That's
And
there you
that's
go.
and that's when I was like, well, it's our movie.
That's our
Yes,
movie.
It's our
Because,
movie.
yeah, there's nothing we like more than it's like, have you seen
Yes.
this movie?
Mhm.
Right.
You shouldn't, but I have.
Yep.
And it's crazy.
Right. So after seeing the
It's credentials for us. It's like I have seen some shit, and so and to be able to say that and be able to like back it up with examples like this, I think it does a lot for me. I think it does a lot for this group.
So I read those quotes. I watched the trailer. I saw the clips. I saw the poster, and I was
Holly
sold.
realized she had a duty to do.
I was sold. I was like, I have a job to do for this
Yes.
freak show, and I think I did it tonight. I'm going to say that you were all correct, that if you're going to recommend this movie, there are severe caveats. You have to watch it with other people that will understand the movie the way that we understand this movie. It's best if you are high. It's best. I don't want to say drunk. I think high is the best way to go.
It's also best if you can share the trauma with other people.
Yes. You have to share your trauma, share your weed, share your love of movies, and that's how you can enjoy this.
Yeah, despite what this movie says, share your weed.
Share your weed. Yeah.
Indulge.
We are anti the message in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with those caveats, by all means watch it. You have to see it to believe it. Do not watch it alone. I think it would be a horrible experience watching it alone. So I get, was it Mike Whitaker said that he tried?
Yeah, he tried.
Yeah, don't do that.
I understand, sir. I apologize, but you should watch it with friends.
Well, we did suffer quite a bit on this version.
Oh,
that
we did,
watched.
yeah,
I mean,
we
I'm
did.
sure the Something Weird video is better.
Yeah,
experience.
I wish that we would have the X-rated version that was originally
Right.
supposed to be shown.
Of
I think
course.
it would have been so wonderful. So yeah, I'm gonna say with those caveats, you should have the experience. By yourself, you should pass. I don't know where that lands.
If you ever find yourself within the party scene that is represented in this movie, throw this flick on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yep.
Throw it
Yeah.
on
That
the
group would
background.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
If nothing else, you get rid of that old man is like, you young people are weird.
When
Yeah.
the family is gathering for the holidays,
Yeah, put this on.
you
We have
put
more
what are we
options to
watching?
put on.
You just put it on in the
Thanksgiving.
background. Yeah.
All right, I know I showed
freak.
you guys Blood Rage last year.
Well, you
Mom
do
and
it
Dad,
all.
I have another movie for you
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, watch
Put them all
it.
on. That's
Do
your
it-
Thanksgiving Day.
Do a double
playlist.
feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that so much.
Do a double
Just
feature.
to the shock of my family. It's like, all right, guys, I got the movie playlist for Thanksgiving. Don't worry. I got on lockdown. Here we go. And
Yeah.
then they just be like, what's wrong with
Watch Blood Freak and then a chaser of Blood Rage.
Yeah, there you
you? I
go.
think so.
Yeah.
I mean, but do you do Blood Rage first?
I think you need
No,
the
that sets the
chaser.
bar too high.
Yeah,
Yeah?
you-
Yeah,
you need
Blood
the
Rage is like an
chaser.
Oscar-winning
All right,
movie
all
compared
right, I
to this.
understand.
Yeah.
You guys hated
Or this
that.
is this
Go
the
away
one
from
that's like way late into the night, you know? And
Or,
You're
no,
nodding off from the
everybody's
turkey
asleep.
nap.
fourth
Yeah.
movie in the all-night
And the all-night
horror movie.
drama. Yes, it is.
You started at 3 a.m, and anyone
You
who
see the
sticks
sun
through
come
it,
up.
right? You're just like, I saw the sun come up, and I saw a man with a turkey head,
Look,
and I
yeah,
am
you're just-
changed.
And you're just
Yeah.
delirious.
Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
like you had like
Right.
this euphoric
The
experience.
kids will love it.
Yeah, that combined with the turkey and everything. Oh yeah,
There you go.
we
All
have
right.
set your Thanksgiving Day.
well,
Thanksgiving Day parade, Blood Freak,
Freaking
Blood Rage.
Thanksgiving.
Yep. Thanksgiving, yes.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. All right, I like
So,
we're
yeah.
building up that
Yeah.
list.
All right.
I feel like this wasn't a recommend or a pass. It was a soft neutral.
Yeah.
It kind of. Well, no, we right.
I said
It
pass.
was all soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soft. It's a soft neutral.
Yeah.
Well-
yeah, it all depends.
Next week we're gonna watch a movie that's chosen by.
Michaela, beat that.
Not even gonna try.
Okay, good. That's the best way to go.
It's still Thanksgiving though.
Oh,
this
shit,
movie.
we're stuffing it in. are we?
We're gonna figure out what happens when you get left behind Thanksgiving week at college. We're gonna watch Christie from 2014.
Oh,
Has anyone
yeah,
seen
yeah.
this
Yep,
movie?
I've
The
seen it.
Ollie Blackburn movie? Yeah.
Oh no! I
Yeah.
have no
Yeah.
idea.